The year 2026 has marked another turning point in China's military posture and global signaling, as Beijing showcased its latest advancements during a grand military parade. Once again, the world's eyes were fixed on the immense display of precision, power, and symbolism as China rolled out its most advanced weapon systems, cutting-edge missiles, and highly disciplined forces in a meticulously choreographed demonstration. This parade, staged in Beijing's iconic Tiananmen Square, was not just a ceremonial march of troops. It was a carefully designed message to the world. With tensions in the Asia-Pacific simmering and global powers sharpening their focus on strategic deterrence, China sought to underline that it remains a formidable force, technologically advanced, strategically confident, and uncompromising in its pursuit of military modernization. One of the most striking features of the 2026 parade was the sheer scale of the missile formations. Column after column rolled forward, each vehicle carrying weapon systems that represent the cutting edge of China's arsenal. From short-range tactical missiles to intercontinental ballistic missiles, the parade highlighted China's layered approach to defense and deterrence. Particular attention was drawn to the DF-41 intercontinental ballistic missile. Sleek, massive, and carried on transport-reactor launchers, the DF-41 has long been regarded as one of the crown jewels of China's nuclear deterrent. Capable of reaching virtually any point on the globe, it represents both a shield and a sword, a reminder to rivals that China's retaliatory capability is modern, credible, and ready. But beyond sheer range and destructive potential, what fascinated analysts was the reported advancement in maneuverable re-entry vehicles. By displaying these new capabilities publicly, China signaled that its missile force is becoming increasingly difficult to intercept, even by the most sophisticated missile defense systems. Alongside the intercontinental systems came displays of medium and intermediate range missiles, including updated versions of the DF-26, sometimes referred to as the carrier killer. Designed to target large naval assets with both conventional and nuclear warheads, the DF-26 is seen as a cornerstone of China's anti-access and area denial strategy in the Indo-Pacific. Seeing row upon row of these launchers passing in front of the reviewing stand was more than symbolic. It underscored China's focus on maritime deterrence, especially in contested waters like the South China Sea and the Taiwan Strait. Yet the missile showcase was not limited to ballistic systems. Cruise missiles also had a prominent presence, particularly the CJ-100, a new generation weapon said to combine stealth features with supersonic speed. These systems highlight China's growing investment in flexible strike options capable of precision attacks against high-value targets without the escalatory risks of nuclear weapons. The parade also featured hypersonic glide vehicles, with formations showcasing what many believe to be advancements beyond the DF-17 system revealed a few years earlier. Hypersonic technology, traveling at speeds exceeding Mach 5 while maneuvering unpredictably, represents one of the most disruptive advancements in modern warfare. By parading such systems, China reminded the world that it is not just catching up but pushing boundaries at the forefront of missile technology. Beyond the hardware, the human element was equally emphasized. Thousands of troops marched in flawless synchronization, their uniforms immaculate, their movements perfectly timed. These soldiers, sailors, airmen, and rocket force members represented not just military might but also discipline, unity, and the enduring symbolism of loyalty to the state. The air component of the parade added another layer of spectacle. Fighter jets streaked overhead in tight formation, helicopters hovered with precision, and drones of varying sizes were displayed both on the ground and in flight. Among these unmanned systems were swarms designed for reconnaissance, electronic warfare, and even potential strike missions, highlighting China's rapid expansion in drone warfare capabilities. Observers noted how the parade was not only about showcasing firepower but also about demonstrating organizational complexity. The synchronization of so many moving parts, aircraft, missiles, vehicles, and marching formations, was itself a display of national capability. It communicated to both domestic and foreign audiences that China has achieved a new level of military modernization. Symbolism played a powerful role as well. The parade coincided with anniversaries tied to historic struggles, reinforcing the narrative of resilience and national rejuvenation. The missile columns were not just tools of war, they were presented as guardians of sovereignty, protectors of unity, and guarantors of China's rise in an uncertain world. International reaction was swift. Analysts across the globe dissected every detail, from the paint schemes of missile launchers to the serial numbers spotted on drone prototypes. Allies of the United States expressed concern at the pace of China's military growth, while others noted that the parade underscored the urgent need for new arms control frameworks in an era of hypersonic weapons and rapidly advancing missile technology. For China, however, the message was twofold. Domestically, it reassured citizens of the nation's strength and technological progress. Internationally, it was a declaration of presence that China would not be overshadowed or contained, and that its deterrent forces were designed to ensure stability on its own terms. The display also raised questions about the evolving balance of power in the Asia-Pacific. With the US strengthening alliances through AUKUS, Japan expanding its defense capabilities, and India continuing its military modernization, China's parade was more than a show, it was a reminder that strategic competition is accelerating. What makes the 2026 parade particularly significant is that it did not just celebrate past achievements, it projected future intent. By unveiling new systems, by emphasizing hypersonics, drones, and missile modernization, China communicated that it aims to remain several steps ahead in the evolving military landscape. As the final formations marched past, as jets roared into the sky and missiles stood tall on their launchers, the message was unmistakable. China's parade was not simply a spectacle, it was a calculated display of military credibility, national pride, and global ambition. For the viewers around the world, the images of that day will remain etched in memory. A sea of disciplined troops, the thunder of missile carriers, the shadow of drones, and the roar of jets combined into one message: that China sees itself as a central power in shaping the future of global security. The 2026 parade will thus be remembered not only for the missiles it displayed but for the strategic signals it sent. It was a reminder that military parades, far from being mere ceremonial events, are in fact powerful tools of statecraft capable of influencing perceptions, shaping policies, and redefining balances of power. And as the dust settles on Tiananmen Square, one thing remains clear: the world is entering a new era where technology, deterrence, and symbolism intertwine. China has shown its hand, confident, ambitious, and determined to play a decisive role in the global order.